Hi, Nadine.
Hi, Phil.
How's it going?
All good, thank you.
We're here to talk about Epic, which you and I initially discovered and then introduced me to, and it was been an interesting time since then. When did you discover Epic?
So, I discovered Epic, unfortunately, so late in the game. Unfortunately. I think I discovered it near the end of last year, so about November 2024-ish time, October, November.
Okay.
And I discovered it completely by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just doom scrolling on Instagram, as you do. And I just came across a video of a girl, and she was basically using vocals that a completely different person had done, from a song that had been like a snippet of the song from Epic had been released. And she basically was doing her interpretation of acting out that scene. And the song that she did that to was called Get in the Water. Hadn't even been released yet. Like, the whole song had not even been released yet. So a very small snippet of the song had been released. And I watched it and I was like, oh, this is great. And I really love the sound of this song. What's this from? Like, I want to know. Searched it all up and it was like, oh, Epic the Musical. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of Epic the Musical before. I wonder where I can watch this. Like, I wonder if it's in theatres somewhere where I can see it. To find out that it didn't actually exist in theatres. It was actually like a concept album that someone was doing that loads of people had just like got into. And I was like, okay, let me look up the concept album because I really like this song, only to discover that the song was not released yet. So. But I was like, well, let me listen to the rest of it.
So by November it was up to, but not including the Vengeance Saga.
Yeah, so it was the Wisdom Saga, I believe, up to the Wisdom Saga was out. Vengeance Saga was not out yet, which is the saga that had the song that I was interested in. But I was like, well, let me get a feel of the rest of it while I'm waiting. And yeah, that was it. I got obsessed like instantly.
I was going to say your initial interpretation or initial feeling when you listened to it, because I remember you saying every song was good.
Yeah, so
every single one. Or
I'm like, I've listened to loads of musicals. I love musicals, but yeah, like, you know, like there's songs that you enjoy, and then there's songs that are kind of like, I could take it or leave it, and then there's songs that are kind of like, I will skip this.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to find that there was not one skippable song.
Distinct lack of skipping.
Yeah. As I was listening to them, like initially listening to it, I'm not going to skip any songs because I need to hear them. But like, I was like, oh, I love this song. And I'm like, oh, I love this song. Oh, I love this song. Oh, I love this song. I'm like, hold on. How can I love every song?
There's like a theme here.
Yeah, there should be something. But no.
But when did you find out that the music was centered around the Odysseus trying to get home story, the Odyssey stuff?
So right at the beginning, right at the very beginning, when I was like trying to find this musical in the first place, and initially before finding out it doesn't exist in theatres or anything, it was just like, oh yeah, it's a musical about the Odyssey, like it's a musical based on the Odyssey, and I was just like, well, this is sounding even better because I love Greek mythology. So
you do these
exactly. So listening to something based on the Odyssey was just like, okay, you've drawn me in even more now. I'm liking this, and went from there.
Yeah.
And now it's my whole personality. That's just what accidentally happened.
Well, the replayability of music that's just so good, you just keep coming back to it. Sort of
it's just crazy.
Obviously, it came across this musical, but it obviously stands out at a slight cut above Hamilton, which will always remain beautiful, sort of thing. But Jorge seems to have done it entirely on his own. Yeah,
it's actually incredible. From what I understand, he was just like, yeah, I'm going to write this musical. And it went over like a 4-year period, I think, something crazy like that.
When did he release his first saga? Was it in 2021? Or
something like that, like that. It was ages ago now. And it just went from like just a person, just a regular person being like, oh, I really want to like write a musical. I'm going to write a musical about the Odyssey and like start thinking of things and like throwing things together. He like documented the whole process. And he was putting it out on social media, lots of different social media. And yeah, it was just I mean, loads of people picked on it very quickly. I wish I was one of them. Picked it up far too late.
I was going to say, you would have thrown your hat into the ring to sing for it if you could.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, like for me, before this musical, Hamilton was my number one top musical, forever in my heart. Absolutely loved it. I tend to love everything Lin-Manuel does. So I was just like, it takes a lot.
Do you feel like the style of music stands out? Because I feel he taps into a few different sort of things, but very much it's very emotional, it's very running sort of pieces. Is there anything about it that stands out for you?
Honestly, I think, funnily enough, like, so I love the musicality of it anyway, but with him documenting what he's been doing, so he explains things, and I think more than just the musicality, the genius behind his thought process of putting things together and how he puts Easter eggs in and how he conveys emotions and everything. I think the genius of it just like impressed me. It just blew me away. I was always sat there whenever I watched any of his videos talking about what he had done and why he had done something that way and the things he was putting in there. I was always like, how do you come up with this? Like, how did your mind even think to come up with this and put this together in this way? So like just the genius behind it alone was amazing to me.
I was going to mention the attention to detail, because there was something we came across like a while back, was the wolf theme, because obviously in the middle of, is it there's another Siren Saga, but so the little wolf song, which hammers home the feel. But then we went and did some research, and also in the Poseidon song, the wolf is amongst the sharks.
So in Ruthlessness, Poseidon says something about like the wolves are swimming with the sharks now, and then way later on in the Wisdom Saga, you have a song where they're going fight little wolf, and I was like, what's all this about wolves? Like, where's this come from?
We did some research and discovered that wolves was a very heavily influenced theme of Odysseus' family. Like his grandfather was named Great Wolf or something. Like, okay, how can this guy find this attention to detail? This is ridiculous. He couldn't have known that, or he couldn't have not known that in order to put that in the song in certain pieces throughout the musical. It seemed like such an extraordinary attention to detail, in my opinion.
Oh yes. In everyone's opinion.
I was going to ask, just to kick the ball rolling sort of thing, of all the sagas, do any of the sagas stand out for you?
So
we'll get to the individual songs, but of the particular group of sagas, do you have a particular favourite?
So whilst my favourite song isn't in this saga, I think over listening to, and I've listened to the songs a lot, over listening to the songs over and over and over and over and over again, I would say my favourite saga is actually the Vengeance Saga. My favourite song is not in the Vengeance Saga, but my favourite saga overall is the Vengeance Saga. I love it, like every single song. I love it.
A highlight being Get in the Water?
So shockingly, no.
Not. Oh, okay.
So, considering that was the song that got me into this whole musical in the first place, you'd think that would be like the one that I'm like love the most. But actually, I would say the song in the Vengeance Saga that I love the most is Dangerous.
Ooh.
It's Dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah, Dangerous has got me.
It is a beautiful song, like, but it's the kind of thing that's interesting. I mean, that's like, again, I think, well, from that particular saga, personally, I think Not Sorry for Loving You is very, very beautiful. It's not as high of an enjoyable song, because it's very brutal a song, if anything, sort of thing, but it is very, very beautiful in the same sort of way, but dangerous. And We will come back to Hermes. We will discuss him at length. But of the sagas, you think the Vengeance Saga has overall the high point for you?
Yes, for me, I think so. You have like you start the saga with this very like beautiful song, whilst what she's saying is kind of deep.
We'll talk about Sarah as well in detail as well.
But it's a very beautiful song, and then you get this for me highlight with Dangerous, where it's like a build up. It's a build up of hope.
Yes,
but it's also a build up of like the energy, the tempo of the song. So you get that all through Dangerous, and then the next song I believe is Charybdis. That song is like also high energy. Yes, high energy. But then you get in the water.
We do. You get
which well, for one thing, it brings in Poseidon. And one thing to say about this is that considering Poseidon is like one of the big bad enemies of this, this is only the second time you ever actually see him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like every time he comes in, it's always huge because it's like you barely see him. So
he's spending much of the entire story avoiding Poseidon.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on the run from him.
Exactly.
Went through quite a series of adventures to try and avoid being either trapped or cornered by him, because he knows if he came across him again, it would be game over. And here we are, only to be 10 minutes away from home, and Poseidon has come in and has got him just before the end of the finish race. So
exactly. So it's always a huge moment. Also, it's the song that got me into the musical, so I love it. But yeah, it's a huge moment. And then you have, can I remember the name of the next song after that? I think it's 600 Strike.
It is 600 Strike. Yeah,
I know this musical a little bit too well. So it's 600 Strike, and that's a huge moment. It's a long song, and it's a huge moment with loads of ups and downs. You have like this big build up. You have just like pure emotion. You have a very like dark twisted bit. You have a turning point in Odysseus's character. And quite frankly, you have a mortal absolutely destroying a god. So
yeah, you do.
So
as unlikely as that would seem, but as you said, I seem to recall you mentioning that one of the essence of the entire song is that he's built up the energy, the power of the 600 men who are now gone, and he's wearing that. It's on his mind, and he's using that energy to force himself out of the water and into Poseidon's face, and he's taking him on in single combat.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, and I do sense a touch of an anime theme, which was sort of like the bit where he's 600 Strike!
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jorge said it before, like, he has used gaming and anime as like a big influence in the musicality of this. And you can hear it. You can hear it. You can see it with the animations that they've put alongside it as well. And I'm a massive anime nerd, so this is honestly like, I think he just was just like, what does Nadine love? He 100% was thinking this. What does Nadine love? I'm going to throw it all together in a musical, because clearly I have to give her something amazing in life.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what he was thinking.
And
he did a great job.
Yeah. Next bit, I was going to mention your favourite song of the entire piece. Not an easy box to tick, but I do believe you have a strong opinion about several songs. Do you think one of them rises to the top, or?
Without a doubt in my mind. And I will say, like, there's loads of songs in this that I love with my whole heart. But without a doubt in my mind, my favourite song is Ruthlessness. Without a doubt.
Still,
it has lasted. It has lasted. It was my number one song when I first listened to it, and it's still my number one song now. I literally, all the other songs that I loved have like shimmied around in positioning, but that one has never wavered from the top.
Okay.
Dangerous got close though.
Yeah.
Dangerous got very close. It got dangerously close to beating it out, but it did not. Ruthlessness remains top.
That actually brings me into interesting theme, because that does seem to be like ruthlessness does seem to be an overarching theme of the entire story. And the thing that always catches me is the opening song. He has to be ruthless to besiege and take over the town of Troy. And then he's in the middle of doing his thing when suddenly he gets a knock on the shoulder from Zeus, no less.
Of course.
Which I thought was interesting. And, oh, by the way, just to let you know, this small child over here will burn your house down and come and hunt you down if you let him live. So you might want to think about doing something about that sort of thing. So Odysseus, our main character, has now been confronted with a choice. A choice, I think, is another overarching theme of the whole story sort of thing. But now he's faced a very stark choice to be ruthless or not to be ruthless in order to save himself and his family. Again, family being another overarching theme sort of thing. But in order to survive and to make sure his family survives, he must do something about this child, which is not immediately revealed.
That's true. Yes, they do leave it up in the air as to what actually happened to this child. But yeah, it is literally his first ruthless thing that he has to do as to what's going to happen to this baby. Are you going to keep it alive and risk your family? And
we are not told, or at least in the song Just a Man, he's basically proclaiming, what do I do, kind of thing. And then it's never mentioned.
It's never mentioned again after that.
Until the Underworld saga, about a full 4 or 5 sagas later.
Yeah.
That he even talks about it. Almost like it was he was blanketing it from his mind. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that does seem to strike me. The overarching theme, at least to a degree, is the fact that later on Poseidon will call him out with his own song about that very thing. What do you think about the Troy saga as a whole?
I think it's like a really, really good and really smart opening to this whole musical, because again, this musical is based on the Odyssey, but really the first 2 songs are based on the book before the Odyssey, the Iliad. So we're getting like a snippet of a little bit of the ending of the Iliad just to give some context before then going into the Odyssey. And I think it's a very smart way to do things. And definitely there needs to be some context thrown in there. And I will say, like, the Troy saga is up there in the sagas for me. Not number 1, but it's definitely up there. It's in the upper half of the sagas. And yeah, I think it has like some really great songs in it. I think it brings in the theme of ruthlessness very quickly, be honest. Which we then later realise is an overarching theme of this whole thing. And yeah, it just doesn't waste time, brings it all in, gives you all the context you need, brings in some characters that we need to know about. And yeah, I think they do an excellent job with it. And yeah, I love that saga. I think it's a really good saga.
It's incredible how he's able to cram in, quite a lot of information into just the first 2 songs, and which underlines Odysseus and his personal struggle of he's just human. He's gotten this divine intervention. Doesn't sound like he'd had a divine intervention before.
Yeah, that's out of nowhere, isn't it?
But now he's suddenly faced with this very stark choice, and then Just a Man, followed by Full Speed Ahead, which lays the groundwork for his mission for the rest of the musical.
Yes.
Which was to go from the outskirts of burnt Troy to Ithaca.
Yes, and they do it really well. And I think they also, those first 2 songs really show both sides of Odysseus very quickly. Like, initially you have like the like ruthless fighting high energy Odysseus, and then in Just a Man you have like this softer bless him, sad Odysseus who's been given a horrible choice, especially considering that when he left for this 10-year war, he had a brand new born son.
And he went under protest.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
He
he did not want
to go, and he's suddenly now been uprooted and has to sort of go all the way home. Again, a stark choice, if ever I saw one, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I might ask you. We'll talk a little bit about some of the characters as we go through, sort of thing. The first one, because I don't think we can talk about Open Arms without talking about Polities.
Polities. Oh, Polities.
That is his song, and he introduces us to what I think is sort of an interesting way of looking at the world, which is contrary to what Eurylochus says. Within moments of meeting us, both Eurylochus and Polities, we kind of already know what they're about.
That's very true. In
Open Arms, and Polities almost comes across as something out of the 1960s, where he may or may not take some time out, just chilling and jamming with some of his friends, playing guitars and things
Woodstock.
like that, doing the Woodstock back sort of thing. Because he said it sounds like he's had enough of war as well.
Yes.
And the theme seems to be, if we look at things differently, then maybe we can go ashore and they can tell us where food is, sort of thing.
Yeah, Open Arms is it's a really good song. Admittedly, it's my least favourite song of that saga.
Yes.
But it's not that I don't like that song. I actually really like the song.
It is a beautiful song.
The other ones just beat it out for me. But yes, Open Arms is a really good song to literally tell us everything about Polities. Like he literally takes Odysseus and him go onto the island.
Yes.
And whilst they're there, he sort of opens Odysseus' mind up to a different way of thinking. Like, we don't have to be so hostile, we don't have to be so aggressive, we can go into situations like more friendly, happier, open arms.
Which is in direct contrast to Eurylochus's point of view, our beloved lieutenant.
Yes.
His first contribution as well in Open Arms, which is to be almost the direct opposite sort of thing.
He basically is like, let's go on this island and set this place ablaze.
And kill everybody. It does feel as though Odysseus has been put in the position of two very stark choices. Again, the overarching choice theme. We can either be very, very, very friendly, or we can kill everybody. That does feel rather extreme of 2 points of view, sort of thing, and Odysseus is right in the middle and has to decide, let's go with the friendly option, sort of thing, and which they then eventually do, only for him to be chastised almost immediately late in the next song by Athena, who is then introduced.
Yeah, so we get Athena's introduction, which is very smart, actually, the way they introduce her in. I know Jorge, he literally mentions that in his mind he created like this power for Athena called Quick Thought, I believe.
Yes. Where
she basically can like have hundreds of conversations if she felt like it with a person in like an instant. And it's like signified with this clock ticking sound, which we do hear throughout multiple sections of the musical. So very well done. And yeah, she sort of comes in after Polities seems to actually be making a difference to Odysseus' thoughts. Comes in instantly and is just like, no. Basically, she's like, no. It's like you're a warrior of the mind.
Initially, Odysseus was hostile to the Laodiceans, fearing of what they might potentially do to them, sort of thing, and threatens them. But then Polities calms him down and says, look what we can achieve if we be friendly, and they direct them to a nearby cave. And then just immediately after that, it's, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Athena is, no, you are a warrior, so you should act like one, sort of thing.
In all fairness, she was correct. That cave was their undoing.
Exactly. I was going to come to that point. Odysseus is a little bit being led up the garden path by Polities' way of thinking, and it kind of led to every negative consequence you could possibly think of, sort of thing.
Yeah. But Polities is such a lovable character that they purposely create him as a lovable character
on purpose.
And it's I would follow it.
I just remember when you told me, don't get too attached.
Don't get too attached.
Don't get too attached. Yeah, that's because really Polities isn't really in the musical for that long.
No.
We get his character introduced in Full Speed Ahead.
Yes.
And like 3 songs later, we get unintroduced to his character.
Yes, well, it's
pretty brutally.
It's basically in the next song that it's almost like at the beginning, Polites has been vindicated. We've gone to this cave and we've now found food, sort of thing. And to the point of where Eurydice is like, "Oh, I guess I stand corrected. Maybe we shouldn't have killed everybody from the minute one, sort of thing. Let's have a look." Only to find that they've wandered into someone else's food treasury, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And a very, very powerful introduction to the Cyclops. Polyphemus? Polyphemus, excuse me.
Yeah, it was that Polyphemus was not an ideal situation to walk into. But I've said this before. I don't know if Odysseus was just like caught up in his emotions, or there was a lot being thrown at him.
Yeah.
He did just murder a baby.
He did.
And there's a lot going on. But when they were talking to the Lotus Eaters and Polites was making his point that like just talk to them nicely, ask them where some food is. They did point them to a cave, but one of those minions did say, "Scary cave."
Yes.
You probably should have paid attention to that.
Well,
it's a little bit late in the game to be in the cave, see all the sheep and be like, why did the Lotus Eaters not eat this instead? Like, why are they giving up this?
When it's just lying around.
Yeah.
Almost unguarded.
Exactly. And it's like, you should have listened to that scary cave bit. Well, that scary cave bit was a key indicator.
I do see, I'm of the opinion that, at that point, Odysseus was very much in the I feel bad zone from the murdering of the child. Hence why I think he went with Polites' sort of thinking, in that I really don't want to have to go through any sort of nasty feelings again, sort of thing. So maybe I'll try a different approach. And is rewarded with leading his men into a trap, basically. Suddenly, giant echoes through the cave. What are you doing in my house? Kind of thing.
To be honest, I can't be mad at Polyphemus. Because basically, they, in his eye, literally
yes.
In his eye, they've burst into his home
and
murdered his favourite sheep, like his favourite pet. Imagine someone kicks down your door and kills your dog.
Yes.
So that's basically what they did.
Which was like, I don't think I can't even say it was unintentional, because like they kind of went in there to steal, and he then calls them out on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and I mean, you've never seen, like, if anyone's going to backtrack, like, anyone can backtrack. Odysseus is there saying, like, maybe there's been an understanding. Maybe we can work this out. I can give you some wine. Which, I think for an iota of a second, may have caught his attention.
Yeah.
But then he's sort of like, okay, in exchange for this, you'll be the last to die.
Not the outcome that Odysseus was hoping for.
I think he was on a different level there, sort of thing. You've already kind of got such a massive red mark against your name, no matter what.
I can understand it. Like, whilst it would have been nice if Polyphemus had let them go, if someone kicked down my door,
yes,
murdered my dog,
yes,
full well came to steal everything in my home, I'm probably not going to be feeling as lenient as they might hope I would be later on. So I can't blame Polyphemus, but
I do see, like, even that, like, at the 11th minute, shall we say, I do see Odysseus' mind working at 100 miles an hour, sort of thing. Because at the last moment he thought, oh, hang on, maybe this won't work out for me. So, stranger, what's your name? My name is Nobody. I was never here. I'm entirely someone else, sort of thing. Because he won't have the same opinion about his name 10 minutes later.
if only he kept that opinion.
I was just like, he's in 100% backtracking mode there, sort of thing, desperately hoping he'll get out of this massive hole that he's dug for himself and his men, sort of thing. And when suddenly Polyphemus goes on a massive rampage, okay, I guess, you know what, screw you, I'm going to tell you my name anyway, almost to spite him.
Yeah, that was should we say, probably the biggest mistake. There's a lot of mistakes in this musical, but the biggest mistake probably was that one.
Well, I was going to say, like, okay, we have to go to Survive and Remember Them, sort of thing.
I love those songs.
It's like Survive is amazing, and Remember Them, or it gets you right there, sort of thing.
I honestly see. So I see the Cyclops saga.
Yes.
I honestly view it like D&D. So like that's how I see it. So like they've introduced polyphemus, they've introduced the danger, and in every D&D sesh, well, at least for my ones that I've been in, whenever there's like danger and there's a monster, we're always trying to talk our way out the situation.
Exactly, yeah.
You always try and talk your way out. And in my head, it's like when the song Survive then kicks in my head, I hear a DM going, roll initiative. And
Yes.
then the music begins and everyone starts going into fight mode, like, okay, we've got to fight. That is literally how that all plays out in my head.
So what before that was like roll for talking or roll for
Like persuasion or
Persuasion.
something.
That's
Yes,
yes,
roll
yes.
persuasion.
Roll for persuasion.
And persuasion did not work.
It sort of ended up like 2 or maybe 1
Yeah.
sort of thing because it did not hit anywhere. And suddenly Polyphemus has grabbed a club, and now he's not yet. He's grabbed a club. He's now. So it feels like he's running around the cave trying to sort of stomp on the men or chase them or something.
Yeah.
And so he's thinking, okay, let's fight back.
Yeah,
It's
it's literally like it's a D&D game.
yeah.
That whole saga is just D&D.
It's like if we fail, there are 600 comrades who are going to be killed.
Yep.
So we have to take him down.
Yeah.
And we're going to surround him, and we're going to strike the heels.
Yeah, strike the heels. Yep.
Yeah.
Surround him, strike the heels, do whatever we can to beat him. And they were beating him, to be fair.
I was going to say, like, where the song sort of changes almost before. No, it's like the final third.
Yes.
Suddenly the tone of the song entirely changes.
Yes.
It's like, we're doing good. We got him on the run. Oh, wait, he's grabbed a club. And now we're very brutally dying. And sounds like Odysseus doesn't. Because they're yelling out, Captain! Captain! As he's picking them off one by one, sort of thing.
Yeah, so the problem is that, and something we didn't mention before, is that the first death by club is Polites, and Polites is Odysseus' best friend. So he's basically been in a fight, been winning, only to suddenly see his best friend brutally murdered in front of him. Because also, when you hear the club hit,
Yes.
for Polites, he gets hit twice. Everyone else just gets one very brutal hit. But Polites, he gets hit twice.
I did not know
So
that.
the very first hit of the club we hear
Yes.
is Polites being hit,
Yes.
and then he gets hit again. Because he gets hit, he goes,
He calls out, yes.
and then he gets hit again.
He does.
So he just saw his friend get brutally murdered and get beaten with a club twice.
And he's almost in shock from that,
Yeah.
and he can't do anything.
Yeah, he just sat there.
he's
Well,
sort
we're
of
not sat there, stood there in shock.
Yeah, he's sort of witnessing his men being brutally murdered in front of him one by one, sort of thing. And then, remind me, is it in that sort?
The next song,
it's sort of-
Remember Them.
Yes.
You hear Eurylochus calling Captain, and it gets louder and
Yes,
louder and
louder,
louder
and the
until
tone
it
goes-
finally like snaps him out of it.
Yes, and then okay, we have to, but Polyphemus hasn't passed out then. He's still on the rampage basically, and so he gathers the men, and we now need to move quickly. But had he passed out, or had they
Yeah. So at the very end of Survive, he's like using his club to kill everyone, hit everyone, and then suddenly out of nowhere he just drops to the floor.
There's a thunk of him falling.
Yeah, and
okay.
then Remember Them kicks in then, and you hear Eurylochus going, Captain, Captain,
Yes.
and then he snaps out of it, and then he's like, yeah, we need to move quickly here.
And it's almost like his Warrior of the Mind sense kicked in a little bit, because it does feel like time slowed down for him, and then he comes up with a plan.
Yes.
He thinks, okay, this is what we need to do, sort of thing. He's blocking the entrance, so we're going to wound him, we're going to blind him, and that will encourage him to move, and then we can escape while he's thrashing around looking for us. It does feel a little bit like a calculated move on his part. He's not being emotional. He's somehow got it together, and he's come up with a plan while Eurylochus is yelling, Captain, Captain.
Yes. He
I don't hear him coming up with any ideas, but anyway. Sorry, carry on. Sorry, we will get to him, I promise. But yes.
Yeah, so it's they built it up really well, to be honest. But yeah, Eurylochus is like trying to snap him back to reality.
Mhm.
And yeah, he literally goes, yeah, I snuck some of that lotus in his wine.
Yes. And that's
I was sat there like, when?
yeah.
When?
It's
When
like,
did you do
there's
that?
been a moment of where I can give you some of this world's greatest wine. It's
and
so
it's
tasty.
somewhere
It's
in there.
somewhere I think the animated version sort of sneakily sort of has him sort of putting it in as he hands it to him, sort of thing, which I thought was very well done.
Yeah, so that was pre-planning at its finest.
Yeah.
So I guess he was like, I'm gonna try and talk my way out of this situation, but just in case that doesn't work, I've put some things in place to help us out in the future.
I'm going to give you this wine, which may or may not be laced with something, and I'm not going to give you my real name.
Yes.
Just on the off chance this doesn't pay off, sort of thing. And as ever, like, amazingly, I would say that that part of the plan did pay off. However, his bigger gamble of hoping to talk his way and save all of his men did not. But again, a calculating mind at work for Remember Them. He's now feeling his first feelings of guilt as he tries to save the rest of the men he's got with him.
Apologies. R.I.P.
He's able to get the men out of the cave, and as they're leaving, or was it? When did he shout his name?
Yes, nearly. So at the end of Remember Them, yeah. So they recently discovered that there's more than one Cyclops.
Yes, that's right.
That's horrifying.
Yes.
That's horrifying. There's more than one Cyclops.
There are more of them?
Yes.
Captain, we should
I
run.
did that really well.
Oh, sorry.
That was like bang on. That was bang on.
I may have listened to it.
But yeah, there's more than one Cyclops. The whole not giving his name and saying that he's called nobody really paid off in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, yeah, let's grab the sheep and let's go.
And that's the way we go, yes.
And then Athena comes back.
Yes.
And she's like, no. What are you doing? You need to kill him.
Yes, you have to finish what you started.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't know if she knew. She probably suspected that in this circumstance you probably should follow through. But no, even then, Odysseus is still in his I don't want to be ruthless phase. I really don't want to be. But he's going to be what I would call an arrogant SOB as he's leaving. He's going to basically almost do it to taunt him because he didn't give him his name before. He's going to declare his real name.
Yeah, so it's like they're now out of they're out of the woods now, aren't they? So like they're completely fine.
They've all
got out of the cave. They're running away. Athena's telling him like you need to kill him, and I think he's still feeling like guilty about Polites and also trying to, I guess, keep the memory of Polites alive.
Mm-hmm.
So he decides, no, I'm not going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Turns to the Cyclops and for some strange reason decides, I'm going to give you my full name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you my address. Might as well just give him the name of your children.
Exactly.
Might as well just give him all the information.
His bank account.
Everything.
Like, exactly,
yeah.
Also would like to just mention Eurylochus's strike 3, Captain, we should run. Even though he's saying, no, wait, my name is nobody. So I'm just going to put that in there for later.
Yeah.
And then we have the breakup between Athena and Odysseus.
Yeah, so
because
sad.
Athena, I would like to show mercy. I don't want to finish the job. I'm not entirely sure how she expected him to kill Polyphemus, because I imagine even a blind Cyclops can be a pretty dangerous thing. However, she has stated her opinion. Kill the Cyclops. That way, he will no longer be a threat. Was those the words she used?
Basically, yeah.
He's still a threat until he's dead. That's the worst. Yes. Okay.
He's still a threat until he's dead.
And he's like, no, he's blinded. What threat is he? My friend is dead.
Yeah, my foe is blind. Yes.
What good would killing do?
Yes.
Effectively, so, and then he basically says, okay, I'm not going to follow through on what you're telling me to do. And she gets annoyed at this. And what does she do?
So she's really annoyed with him that he's let the Cyclops live. Turns out rightfully so.
Okay.
But at the time, no one knew this, so she's really mad that he's let the Cyclops live. I don't know if it's because he just disobeyed her.
Possibly.
But yeah, she basically calls him out on it and is just like, look, like your friends are dead because you aren't being a warrior of the mind. You're not being the ruthless general that I want that I've been training you to be.
I was going to mention, I think in the warrior of the mind, she mentions we're not going to be friends. She says something almost like to say
my goodbye.
Was that when she said? Because I thought when in Warrior of the Mind, when they're doing a flashback to when they first introduced,
yes,
she's like, he was like, goddess and man, let's see what we can do
together. Yeah, bestest of friends.
And she stops him.
Yeah,
and she said, well, we'll see how it ends.
Yeah,
this is where it ends. And it's like, it always feels like it's referencing that, okay, there's going to be a thing. There's not going to really be a friendship here. It's more Athena's going to use him as a tool of her will or her ambition.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting because he is looking at their relationship as a friendship.
Yes.
And while she seems like a friend, I think she isn't fully sold on their relationship being a friendship, but she's very much like, I like this guy. He's intelligent, he's smart.
And he's
a warrior. I'm gonna mold him. I'm gonna be his mentor. I'm gonna mold him into this warrior. And she's like very hung up on that. And I only think it's later on that when she's thinking back on things, she's like, I think I do see this man as a friend. Too little, too late. But
well, she starts to care about him a bit.
I think she always did care about him, but I don't think she will. I think she was blinded by her ambition.
Yeah.
And it was only later on when he's no longer around that she starts to realise, actually, deep down, I actually did care about this person.
Yes.
And I probably shouldn't just like abandon everything on them. So
yes. And so we get My Goodbye, which is basically like the breakup.
It is the breakup.
It's again another beautiful song.
I love that song. This is another thing where Jorge just throws in his genius here, because there's a bit in the song. Initially, you get Athena's verse. Jorge's already said Athena's instrument that he's chosen for her is the piano.
Oh yes,
and it is very much, her section is very much done on the piano. Then we switch to Odysseus' verse, and she's already said his instrument is a guitar.
Yes.
And it's interesting that the moment we switch to his verse, it's all guitar.
Yes.
So we switch from Athena's verse, her character, piano, to Odysseus' verse, guitar.
Yes.
And I'm like, smart. Smart. I would have thought of that. 100%.
Well, in particular, yeah.
And then at the end of that song, when she's saying, "This is my goodbye," there's there's like a reference back to her first song, "Warrior of the Mind," where when Odysseus and Athena are doing their two little rift bits, it starts off with Athena's rift, which very much like goes upwards, very like top note heavy sort of situation. Clearly Odysseus is not able to do that, so he does like a little rift up rather than like a top note up. He does a rift up. And in My Goodbye, Athena starts doing like the rift up like she was doing with Odysseus, and at the end of the song she switches back to just a top note. So she's just completely discarded his input now, and she's like, yep, top note, back to me, no more Odysseus.
Like, damn.
And it's like, wow, you told the story in the words and the music. It was great.
He can do that. Like, he's got that skill.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just like levels of genius thrown in there.
Yeah, it does feel like he's sort of reaching into the music and tampering with the DNA a little bit. Sort of there. I was like, dude,
it's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So we have My Goodbye, basically the breakup of the musical, and then we go straight into which is the next saga?
Should be what saga is it? The Storm Saga?
I think it's the Storm Saga.
Is it called the Storm Saga?
The Ocean Saga.
The Ocean Saga. I was like, I don't think it's called the Storm Saga.
Excuse me.
The Ocean Saga, yes. Straight into the ocean saga.
Yeah. So they've left the island. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, yes, Odysseus declares his name to the Cyclops, to Polyphemus, on their way out, almost to spite him. So he's sort of like, okay, and then they go straight from the island, straight into a storm. Now, the first time this happened, you said to me, the storm wasn't a coincidence.
It was not a coincidence.
But which becomes important later. But what do you think of Storm?
So I actually really enjoy that song, but I actually, in all honesty, like in terms of like a lot of like plot stuff, there's not loads of plot stuff in it, but I still love the song because of the harmonies in it. Like they sing the word storm and there's a lot of harmonies on that, and I love that. Like, and harmonies just sound amazing, don't they?
Yeah.
So I absolutely love like the harmonies on there. I really enjoy the song, and it does sort of like set up for some like later bits. It brings in like the island in the sky.
Yes.
It brings Eurylochus.
Well, there's
our favourite character, Eurylochus.
Well, it's the point they set up the storm as their barrier home.
Their barrier home. They're like heading home. Like everything's going fine. Probably Odysseus is probably feeling smug as well. He just spited this Cyclops. He's probably feeling smug.
A mixture of smug, mixed with a whole heavy feelings of guilt. But that's the next song. But yeah,
he's feeling a bit smug. He's probably feeling a bit salty with the Athena thing, but he's probably feeling quite smug. Yeah. They're on their way home, and he's probably thinking like it's plain sailing from here.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It is not.
It is not. They get hit with this storm, and he actually, at the very beginning of the song, he like asks these questions. He says like is it a blessing in disguise?
Yes.
Is it a sign? Like he asks these questions. It's not a blessing in disguise, unfortunately for him. And he says it feels divine. I'm trying to remember like the exact wording he used.
Yeah.
But
let me look it up.
He definitely questions like, is it divine? Is it a blessing in disguise?
Hold on a sec. Lyrics.
Is it nature or divine or a blessing in disguise?
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Waves grown in strength and size, is nature or divine or a blessing in disguise?
Yeah.
Our home is in sight, the storm's our final fight. There's no time to die, comrades. Brace for a storm.
Bless him, he thought the storm was his final
he
fight.
thought it was that, yeah. It's head towards the island, but avoid crashing the waves. There's, tread where the tide is flat and you'll be safe. Captain will capsize with these waves, our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship, I'm sure we will prevail. He's got confidence. We're going there, we're going to make it, we're taking too much damage to survive, we'll beat the storm. He's like, yeah, we've
got this.
I think he feels that Polyphemus was the worst. I think he mentions it, if we take, there's one more enemy and then we're home, kind of thing. And I think he still feels that high a little bit.
Yeah, he's very much like, we can push through this storm and we can get home.
Yes.
And something really worth mentioning is that his urge to get back home to his wife and son is his most strongest feeling.
Yes.
There is nothing else really that's like pushing him more than that.
That was mentioned in Horse and the Infant, the very first song. What are you fighting for, Penelope and Telemachus?
Yes.
Like from moment zero is like this is my motivation for the entire thing, sort of thing, and it's going to push me above and beyond the Call of Duty kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. So it's very much like he's like, we just need to get through this storm, and we're home. And so he's willing to push, fight everything, bring all of his fleet with him, risk everyone capsizing to get through this storm.
Yes.
And I mean, it says a lot, doesn't it? It tells you how badly he wants to get home.
Well, it feels like that he's pushing and pushing. They go into the storm and they get moved around a lot, but they can't seem to get through it. It's almost like they either come back out or they come out in a different place and they've survived, but it's blocking their path, basically.
Yeah, they cannot get through this storm, this impenetrable storm.
And roughly at that moment, they come across a floating island in the sky, which leads into the next song, which for me has echoes of the Hamilton musical, which involves the running out of time.
Right,
There's,
yeah.
just an element of questioning the hero, of the sort of like.
Why
but-
do you run?
but-
You're running out of time.
I don't know if Eurydice and Aaron Burr can be compared. That's not fair in any way, shape, or form, sort of thing.
I think they could.
To a degree.
A little bit, yeah, to a degree.
Aaron Burr, he has his whole different story sort of thing and has a little bit of justification. But anyway, but Eurydice, he does seem to be just do whatever, take whatever Odysseus says and just go in the entire opposite direction. Because we see floating islands in the sky. There's an opportunity here, Odysseus thinks. And what does... and Eurydice keeps on questioning every single thing that he says.
Yeah, it's like I mean, understandably, he's got some concerns,
Yes.
and I can get behind that.
What's the first thing he says? You could be caught off guard. You could be caught off guard and lose your life, or piss off this god and infuse us with strife. You don't know. Forget how dangerous the gods are. Have faith, my friend. We've come this far, sort of thing. Now,
This is ironic as well because he's saying like, "Oh, you don't want to piss off the gods," not knowing that actually,
that ship has literally sailed, my friend. We've already crossed that barrier.
but they don't know that at the time.
I don't want to blame Eurydice for being cautious at the same time because they probably think, okay, they're on a very, very thin ice at that moment, not realizing even how thin it was at that point. But the response to that is, I haven't killed any of our people yet. Or it was along this. Oh no! I led 600 men to war, and we'll all come through, sort of thing.
Odysseus gets a bit sassy.
He does get a bit sassy.
He's like, I took 600 men to war, and not one of them died. So you need to have some faith in me.
But things like the only real part where Eurydice, I think he does kind of have a point because Odysseus is kind of winging it at this point. He's had that burst of energy, he's had that burst of that's sort of seen him in and out of the storm, and he's still on that high a little bit. Oh, there's a floating island, and his immediate response is to, okay, maybe let's go up there, throw your harpoons up there, and I can climb up there and I can talk to the gods, kind of thing. At this point, Eurydice says, I'm not sure that's wise.
I think this is interesting because I think what their priorities are actually very different.
Yeah.
Like Eurylochus very much is like keeping everyone alive, or as many people alive as possible to get home. And Odysseus's one is just get home.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter how many people die.
A bit of a conflict there.
Preferably no one dies.
Yeah.
But just get home.
Well, it does sort of go up and down a little bit. I think at that point, Odysseus is confident enough, so confident, in fact, that they're going to get home, that if he gets home, then all of his men will get home as well. He's not seeing them as like a separate entity that could be potentially lost if he doesn't behave or respond accordingly in the situation, sort of thing. But at that point, he's thinking, I can just climb to the top of this island, converse with the gods, it'll be fine. And
it's something.
It was something. I will make it like he does kind of question. Eurydice does question Odysseus again, which does seem to be a character. Thing is, if his objection there came from anyone else, it wouldn't be a problem. It would 100% be illegitimate. Because it comes from him, who seems to make his entire career questioning Odysseus, it looks a little bit like, more than coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, Odysseus does call him out, doesn't he? He does pull him to the side and is basically like, I can't have you questioning me. And understandably so, like, they are going into some dangerous situations.
Yes.
And Odysseus is the captain and he has to make calls.
He's the one who's responsible.
Yeah, and he can't be making the calls and having everyone questioning that.
Yeah.
And if his second in command is questioning him, it's going to make the rest of the crew question him. And quite frankly, the moment you get your whole crew just questioning everything you're doing as the captain, the likelihood is lives are gonna be lost. He doesn't pre-know that it doesn't matter anyway because they're gonna be lost. But
exactly.
in that moment,
they say they're on such thin ice, and to have the crew question him while on that thin ice would only make the situation worse. In principle, however, it seems almost like the story was testing that limit.
Yes, but
Eurydice
got called out.
He did, yes.
He got pulled aside and called out.
Took him to one side. Don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war and not one of them died. That in case you need a reminder, if you'd like to speak more, let me pull you aside then. I need to talk to you in private. I can't have you planting seeds of doubt.
Mm.
I can't have you disagreeing each route. He's asserting his authority. He's confident enough. It's going to be fine. But then that leads to the next song. There's I think you like this song.
Keep your friends close. I do. So actually, this song is like it's a 50-50 split of like me loving it and me just liking bits.
Do you think it's like the final third of the song?
Yeah. So like when Odysseus goes up to the wind god,
yes,
and starts basically asking for some help.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that bit of the song.
Is Aeolus?
Aeolus. Yes. Goes up to the wind god Aeolus, asks for some help. Love that bit. The laugh Aeolus did the ha ha ha. I love it. Ha 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 every time. Love that bit. And I really like that song. I like the little ringing things in the background, doing their little background harmonies, sowing some seeds of doubt themselves. Love that bit. The next bit of the song is so after Odysseus has dealt with the wind god, managed to get a wind bag to trap the winds of the storm, so that they can actually like have a bit more smooth sailing to get home. All good.
It's almost like a little bit of a test going on there. I can trap the storm, so I move it out of your way, sort of thing. However, you will yourself and your crew will be tested.
Yeah, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Here, have this bag that contains the wind. Don't open it though. Just don't let your curiosity get the better of you. Just hold on to the. The thing is, he told the crew the what's in the bag, and if they open the bag, then it's just gonna blow their ships asunder, sort of thing. And yet,
the problem is the Winions came down and told everyone it was treasure.
They did. That's true.
They told everyone that actually treasure's in this bag, and it does plant some seeds of doubt because Odysseus has managed to go up to a god.
Yes.
And has come back down with this mystical bag, that no one's allowed to open.
Yes.
And you've been told treasure's inside that bag. And he's like, no one open the bag, don't look in the bag, nothing. And I'm
don't do nothing.
What's in the bag?
Yeah.
Like, tell me what's in the bag.
There's wind in the bag,
you exactly.
say?
It's far-fetched, isn't it?
It does sound a bit out of character sort of thing, but no. And then he's somehow able to stay awake for 9 days.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, so this section of the song, not that I don't like it, but I'm like...
It's different.
It's nice, but I prefer the first bit of the song, the keep your friends close bit of the song.
Yes.
But yeah, so he's like had to stay awake for 9 days. I'm guessing he has realised after everyone got told it was treasure, he was not convinced that his crew believed him that it wasn't treasure. And he's like, now I'm going to have to guard this bag.
Yes.
Which is why he stays awake for like 9 days.
Yeah, and he's very close, within sight of home, and he falls asleep.
Yeah.
And then someone or something opens the bag. And we get it was rather interesting, just at the tail end of the song. I didn't like the use of the word compliant, because the wind god basically calls him out and says you weren't compliant.
Yeah, you weren't compliant.
And now you're heading to the land of the giants.
Yes.
As if you knew what you were getting into, sort of thing. It was like, it wasn't his fault, but anyway.
I think really, the wind god was essentially giving him some hints.
Yeah.
Because the wind god said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Like, being like, can you really trust these people? And Odysseus maybe should have taken that a bit more. I'm guessing like he realised that, okay, there's some seeds of doubt here, like maybe I'm going to have to stay awake and guard this bag.
Yes.
But I'm guessing he didn't realise quite how bad it was.
Be. Yeah.
And it's a double whammy, isn't it? Because he's had Eurylochus question him in front of everyone.
Yes.
So that's already sowed some seeds of doubt. Then he's got this wind bag, and these little Winian things have told everyone it's treasure when it's not treasure. So that's some more doubt thrown in there.
What did he say? We must... He tries to tell the crew we mustn't open the wind bag, and they'll say we'll try.
Yes, he goes, we can't let this rumour go around that it's treasure.
We can't let the treasure rumour fly.
Yes.
And they'll
go, we'll try.
We'll try.
And I'm like, that's not exactly like reassuring, is it? We'll try not to let it spread around.
We don't know at that point, sort of thing, but Eurylochus basically opens the bag. Strike 4 against him. Like, he's really racking up those strike points of like, no matter what he does, it's just, okay, Odysseus said don't open the bag. What's that, open the bag? Okay, he opens the bag.
He did open the bag.
Within 10 minutes of home as well. And then they get blown to the land of the giants. Again, I sort of interpret because they were going to the land of the giants, but regardless, blocking their way from that point is who?
Do you know who I am? That's what he says. Do you know who I am?
He's about,
Big bad Poseidon. So this is the first time we see Poseidon.
Yes.
One of 2 times we see Poseidon. And in comes my favourite song. Number 1, top song. Ruthlessness.
I'm going to bring the lyrics up just so I can sort of see, because I want to do a deep dive into this song as well. But, okay, yeah, please. Indulge me. What is the song?
Yes, so Ruthlessness is Poseidon's big baddie song, his first big baddie song.
Big Daddy song.
Big Daddy song. Where he comes in and he basically lets Odysseus know, you're in big trouble, mate. So this is where Odysseus finds out that the Cyclops that he blinded and then taunted is actually Poseidon's son. And it turns out Poseidon isn't too happy with the situation.
Yeah. I tried to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, and yet you hurt this son of mine. But damn, these are some good lyrics.
Weirdly enough, though, and Poseidon says it himself later on, he's not as angry at Odysseus as blinding his son as he is of letting him live.
Yeah.
He has this, I don't know where this ideology has come from, but he has this ideology that, and he says it multiple times, ruthlessness is mercy on yourself. So if you're in these situations, you need to be ruthless and you need to follow through.
Yes.
If you're going to claim that you're like this amazing person and you're trying to do good and you need to be ruthless sometimes to do it, you need to follow through. And he's very angry at Odysseus that he hasn't followed through. Like, you let my, like, none of this would be happening to you if you had killed my son.
Yeah.
He literally says, you totally could have avoided all this if you just killed my son.
I don't know. I feel like that I don't think it's a coincidence that Athena and Poseidon, both deities, have a similar agenda sort of going on in there sort of thing. But I think there's also taps into Greek warrior mythology sort of thing, probably even like Spartan-esque sort of thing, of where having a son or a warrior child of the family wounded is a shame on the family, where they should have died nobly in battle, a warrior's death sort of thing. Not to die of old age or as a cripple, but to give your life heroically, defeating against overwhelming odds kind of thing. At least that's how it feels to me.
I agree. Like, he's very, very unhappy with the fact that Odysseus is like claiming to be this like great person and trying to help his men and save lives and didn't kill the Cyclops. And he has decided that he's going to teach Odysseus a very difficult lesson.
He says, you are the worst kind of good because you're not even great.
Yeah, I was like, what a slap in the face.
It feels almost like if you were Achilles, this would be entirely different. But because you're almost a nobody sort of thing, this means I can do whatever I want to you sort of thing. In fact, I'm going to only kill you, but I'm going to destroy you. Yeah. As a human, as a man, as a whatever
Honestly,
you are.
Or he literally, like, that was such a slap in the face to say, to be honest. And yeah, he then proceeds to drown the entire fleet bar Odysseus's
his own
ship. So I think there was 12 ships altogether.
So 600
men
except
and over 12 ships.
I think it's like 50 or 60 men on each ship sort of thing.
I mean, I didn't do the maths, but yeah.
I think a few of them have been killed by Polyphemus.
Yeah, a few of them were gone from Polyphemus.
So he basically says, 43 left under your command. So that's
he started with like 580 something men, let's just say. I haven't done the maths.
Yeah.
But 500 and something men he has now. And ends up with 43.
Yes.
You wiped out 500 plus men.
Yeah.
In your rage.
So I do want to focus on like some of the lyrics as well, because it is your favourite song.
It
So
is.
there's like, especially like, I do love the reference. Okay, no, hang on. I'm going to start from the beginning. It isn't very often I get pissed off, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, letting you use my waterways, kind of thing, and yet you hurt the son of mine. The Cyclops you made blind is mine. I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. I guess the pack of wolves, a wolf reference,
Yep.
is swimming with the shark now. Which is like a very borderline horrific thing in its own right, because obviously it's not, the idea is that a wolf is just swimming and then a shark's going to come up and just
devour it.
proper Jaws style sort of thing.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, I've got to make you bleed. I need to see you drown. Before you go, I need to make you learn how. Damn, this guy's annoyed.
Yeah,
like,
he's mad.
He really is annoyed.
And I think it's a bit like I'm judging Poseidon a little bit here, because I'm like, again, you're so angry that he didn't kill your son.
Yes.
What? Yeah. Why are you so angry that he has not been ruthless? Like, this is Poseidon's like core issue for dealing with Odysseus, and is the reason why then Odysseus has to go on this crazy run from him, all because of this core anger that Poseidon feels about him not being ruthless. And they don't really explore it in the musical, but I'm just wondering, like, why is that so integral to you, Poseidon? Like, why is it so important to you that, like, someone follows through with this ruthlessness?
So it is sort of like the Poseidon calling out a man who did, again, I restate, murdered a child at the very start of the song, out of somewhere between expediency or necessity, whatever you'd like to call it. He made a decision, and I think he felt bad for it ever since, to the point where he decided to make decisions that erred on the side of mercy rather than not. And yet the very next line is, Odysseus, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. You decided to alter your course from original ruthless, and you're getting it wrong.
Yeah, well, he's feeling the blowback. He says, he essentially believes, like, if you're ruthless in that moment, you save yourself from pain and suffering later.
Yeah.
Odysseus was not ruthless in that moment with Polyphemus, so Poseidon has decided to show him that, well, this is now what
you're
the
in
consequences.
You're in my world now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's a zero-sum game. There are no quarters given. It is either kill or be killed, sort of thing. And now, or if not you, then at least your men are the ones who are going to suffer the consequences, because you've I wouldn't say injured my pride, but you have injured my family, sort of thing. It just feels as though I don't know if he treats Polyphemus as like property or something that's his, that has been tampered with or damaged, or if there's a genuine affection there. I don't know if there is. But
I don't believe there's actually a genuine affection for Polyphemus.
It feels more like a property thing.
Yeah.
It feels like he's treating it as though you've injured my pride because you've damaged or touched my stuff, sort of thing.
Essentially, yeah. I don't think he cares about Polyphemus at all, to be honest.
Almost like the Duke from Moulin Rouge, where I don't like people touching my things.
Literally, it's ridiculous, but yeah, for some reason he has a real big chip on his shoulder about it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he decides to teach Odysseus a very brutal lesson.
Okay.
But I think he was planning to kill Odysseus in that moment.
Oh, absolutely.
He kills everyone else first.
Before we go, I need to make you learn how ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. You are the worst kind of good because you're not even great. You're not Achilles. You're nothing. A Greek who reeks of false righteousness. That's what I hate. Does he have a point? Is he reeking of false righteousness? I know he's full of himself.
He's very arrogant. But we're seeing the story from his point of view a lot.
Yes.
But if we really take a step back and look at certain situations from some of the other characters' points of view, Odysseus is quite an arrogant.
Yes.
He is quite an arrogant character, actually.
I mean, I don't know if it's a sort of willpower or force of willpower. He's trying to get his men home, and he's trying to cast off the naysayers, the doubters. I can do this. I'm right for command, sort of thing. I know what needs to be done, sort of thing. Follow through is difficult.
So I don't think necessarily that Poseidon is wrong there.
Yeah.
His such a strong loathing. I don't know where it comes from.
It does feel like he's come across him in another life, sort of thing, or something's hurt. I don't know if like Odysseus would turn around and say, "Who hurt you?" sort of thing, but he does reach out to him. Like he said, "Because you fight to save lives and won't kill to get the job done. Wouldn't have avoided this if you just killed my son." But no, it was like, "Whoa, dude!" But then you're far too nice. Mercy has a price. It's the final crack. We're bound to break the ice now. You reveal your name, and in a show of arrogance, you reveal your name and let him live. Which is say, if he'd done one of either of those two things, he wouldn't be where he was now. Sort of thing. Like you, I've got no mercy left to live. Unlike you, I've got no mercy left to give, cause ruthlessness, etc.
And Jorge actually throws a little piece there, because if you remember, when we get to the song Storm, it's just a random storm that's appeared.
Yes.
But in this song, there's a bit where they actually play the melody for Storm in a section of this song.
Yes.
To indicate that
it was actually there.
That this storm comes from Poseidon. This isn't just a random storm that appeared. The storm is from Poseidon.
That makes a lot more sense to think about. Okay, you can imagine like around the time when the storm song comes up, they go into the storm, they didn't really get anywhere, probably were pushed out of it again, Island of the Sky comes along, and then the wind gods trap the storm, or at least the effects of it, enabling them to travel through, and then when the storm gets released by Eurylochus, so they then are pushed back either into the storm or via the storm right into Poseidon's lap.
Yeah.
It's like, so that does
and it makes sense,
to
because
use
this was from Poseidon.
Exactly.
The storm came from Poseidon.
That makes sense to me, sort of thing. And then Odysseus reaches out to Poseidon, appealing to his better nature or something. He's already declared he's like going to kill him rather brutally 3 times over now, sort of thing. But he does try to make an attempt. So we meant no harm. We only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain. Again, I don't know if he's kind of realised his mistake.
Oh, he's realised his mistake.
And he's now doing pretty much what he did with Polyphemus. He's trying to backtrack.
Yeah, you're going to have to backpedal on this one.
Because he knows he's got nothing else to give. He's
up against the god.
He's only got the persuasion roll, which again falls down flat, sort of thing. Like the line between naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible. So close your heart, the world is dark, and ruthlessness is mercy, die.
He actually, I'm pretty sure he's echoing that line. I'm so sure that Odysseus, when he's talking to Polyphemus, says something similar to this. Or no, actually, I think it's a bit later. I think later on Poseidon says to Odysseus, I'm your darkest moment.
Yes.
And Odysseus says that same thing to Polyphemus when he's like, sailing away after he's taunted him. He's like, I am your darkest moment. I am the infamous Odysseus.
Yes, okay,
and that's where he reveals his name, because he's an idiot.
Okay,
this warrior of the mind was not using his mind.
Like, if the thing is, it feels like that Odysseus wasn't humbled before. He was upset. He was taken down a few notches, but his confidence, his hubris was still there, and they were pushing the men through, like, up to the wind gods and then through the storm and to the other side, which he did achieve. To an extent, you could argue his feelings were founded, but then he was let down by Eurylochus, who pushed them back.
But he didn't know that at the time.
He didn't know that at the time, and his instinct to stay awake for the 9 days, and almost, but they say, couldn't have stayed awake just that little bit longer to guide them all. Whatever it was, it let him down. And his whatever it is, his arrogance, his hubris has now been completely sort of unvindicated, sort of thing. You tried to show arrogance, and you now stand before a god, and the god has now completely ruined your fleet.
Yeah, drowned pretty much all of your men.
Would you argue this is his darkest moment?
Is it his darkest moment? Ooh.
As far as him seeing a very, very depressing zone, sort of thing, because this will kind of haunt him for the rest of this.
I definitely think. I reckon that character of Odysseus probably might not see it as his darkest moment, but I think it might be like, this is where you lost the majority of your men.
Yes,
and that is all. It's essentially all based on a decision that you made, like. when they went to the island and he lost some of his men, it was a horrible situation, but like it's all sort of just like not coincidence, but like these things happen. Like you went, you tried to get some food.
Yeah.
You weren't to know that you were gonna get into a Cyclops' cave and anything like that. And you
like
did the best you could in that situation.
He stumbled into a minefield kind of thing. Again, he could have made some different decisions, but again, he was doing what he did. What with the information he had, and he needed food, and it seemed not unreasonable to go and at least have a look.
To look for some food, exactly. There was absolutely no need to reveal your name and your home address to taunt this Cyclops. There was no need. That was his pure arrogance. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't like coincidence. It wasn't just things that happened. That was purely him sort of like just flaunting his arrogance and his ego, and as a direct result, 500 plus men are dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think the bit he says just before he gives his name, "I am the infamous Odysseus."
Right?
He was
Who
trying
told
to...
you were infamous?
Exactly. I'm the big cheese sort of here, and I throw the gauntlet at the floor. Boom! I'm Odysseus, kind of thing, and not to know how the Cyclops would remember his name more in a way that he actually thought he would. But anyway, the fleet has been destroyed. What happens next?
Yes, so then, the fleet's destroyed. Poseidon is basically like... Any last words?
Yeah.
He was just like, I've killed everyone else. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to be nice here. Any last words? And then Odysseus in that time, I guess, has... I don't know how he's done it, because my mind would not be thinking how I get out of this situation.
Because they saved the bit in the song, they saved a little bit of the wind from before. Sorry, skipped over that. But yeah, they saved a little bit of the wind just in case we need it another day.
Yes.
And so he's still got it in, I don't know if it's his hand or...
Hint though, in that bit, when he's like, oh, like, help me close the bag.
Yeah.
Like, it's Eurylochus who's just like, oh no, and I'm like, oh, so Eurylochus was the closest person to the bag.
Yeah,
to help you close his bag. It's kind of a hint there. Like, I never picked up on it before, but actually, yeah, like
it makes sense.
When he's like, help me close the bag, it's Eurylochus that is there to help him close it. And I'm like, oh, so Eurylochus is the closest person to the bag right now.
It's like we will remember that later.
And then they managed to save some of the wind in the bag, and then in this now very dire moment with Poseidon, when Poseidon's like, any last words, he's like, I just got to open the bag, and he opens the bag, and the wind blows them away from Poseidon.
Yeah.
Ideal situation. And Poseidon is like, remember me. Remember me.
Then they get blown upon a nearby island, and Odysseus gets very sad because he's now been humbled. He's probably somewhere near his lowest ebb. I mean, he'll be in many low ebbs, but this will be one of his many low ebbs. And he's feeling a bit sorry for himself.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you did just have 500 plus men wiped out. You've gone from a 12 fleet, like, basically like army, essentially. Yeah. 500 plus or 600 men originally. You were an army. And you've gone from that to one ship of 43 men.
You had 12 ships, you're now down to one.
You're one.
The last one.
On top of that, I think he's like realising the gravity, like, you've now got a god on your case. Not just any god. Poseidon is god of like
of the
earth
sea.
And sea. The very sea you need to be travelling through to get home. So you've angered the god whose realm you need to travel through constantly to get home. Yeah, there's a lot of I would be feeling real sorry for myself as well.
Yeah.
He was so close to being home as well. He was close to being home. He ended up getting blown to Poseidon, finds out that he's angered Poseidon, lost loads of his men, and but now they're just in a moment where they're having to like collate everything together and figure out what's the next move.